short Sunday drive. Really, this is just an update on what's going on in our lives. Today we were up at the crack of dawn. We're over in Eastern Oregon, and we had to drive quite a ways this morning to get to the hospital where Scott's dad is right now.
He recently went through a mastectomy. He had breast cancer, and that procedure was successful. During the healing process, he did something he shouldn't have done and lifted something too heavy and did some internal damage to the area that was healing. And come to find out, it became infected. They did an emergency surgery on him 3 days ago. And then his vitals and everything started to tank. So he was life-flighted from one hospital to another hospital. And come to find out, the infection got into his bloodstream. And it began to affect the functioning of his lungs. Now, keep in mind, a little backstory, I guess. My dad only has one kidney, and it's only partially functioning at that. He's also had another cancer issue as well. So, he's gone through quite a bit. I got up here 2 nights ago, the day that they transferred him over to the other hospital. My youngest sister sent me a message saying, "You need to get here now." So a half hour later, I was starting my 5-hour drive to the hospital from our home. And we got there and spoke to the ICU doctor to see how things were going, and they were not looking very good. His oxygen level in his bloodstream was very low. His blood pressure was out of whack, and he was on a ventilator. So yesterday, I stayed the night in a motel less than 5 minutes away from the hospital. It was kind of a sleepless night through various reasons. Then yesterday morning, got up, we were told to be at the hospital at 8 a.m. to get an update. And we never got the update until 3:30. So it was kind of a frustrating day yesterday. But we did find out that he was on 100% oxygen, and that at the time they reduced him down to 80%. And then later in the day, they reduced him down again to, I guess, 40% oxygen. His oxygen level at the end of the day was becoming more normal, and his blood pressure was stabilizing. From there, we'll jump ahead to this morning. We got there, and within 5 minutes of getting there, we had a team of physicians and nurses giving us an update. A far cry from what happened the day prior, so they kind of made up for it. And the update was very positive. Come to find out, sometime through the night, they removed the breathing assistance with the ventilator. They kept the tube in him, and they put him on a breathing treatment, and he's breathing on his own with only minor assistance as needed, which was quite infrequently. Let me see. His kidney function is decreased, but they don't need to worry about doing dialysis. We talked to the kidney doctor, and they're concerned, but they are monitoring it, and at this time they don't think he needs to do a dialysis. other than that, he actually did open his eyes a little bit and was slightly responsive, and he was moving his feet and his hands around. He is no longer being sedated. He is basically sleeping on his own, which is good. And then we left this afternoon, and we haven't had an update since then. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, and again tomorrow afternoon. So there's where we're at. It's been kind of hit and miss, but he's on the mend, and he is what we call a stubborn patient. The doctor there said she likes to treat stubborn patients because they are stubborn enough to keep going, and they have a higher chance of success because they have not given up. They're too stubborn to give up, and that is basically my dad in a nutshell. He is very stubborn. He's not ready to give up because he still has things to do and people to see and people to irritate. I would say another word, but we're a family channel.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful. It's going to be a slow recovery. We're expecting him to be in rehab for a while. And we are still following. Sorry about that. The other phone we were using decided to run out of storage, and we're unclear on why that's happening. We'll look at that later. So we're on another phone. But as we were saying about the trailer, we will bring, if we decide to get this other one, it's available, and we decide to get it, we will bring it over here, and then each trip I'll bring some new stuff to put in it to get it up to our standards. And then we'll get the other one ready to be sold, although we do have a buyer in mind for it. If they can't come up with, or if we can't work out a deal with them, we will list it on Facebook Marketplace and get rid of it that way. But we've got options, and either way, we're still a winner because we're going to bring our old trailer over here and no problems. And if we get the new one, we bring it over here and still no problems. And it's going to make it easier on myself and all four of us, since there'll be the pugs as well, on this summertime in Denver. I guess that's the right word. In Denver, something like that. Endeavor. There we go. Endeavor. Hey, English is a difficult language for me, and I speak it all the time. So, if you watch my videos on my other channel, you know this. Endeavor. There we go. But okay, I'm still wrong. That's okay. You guys understand. It'll make it this entire summertime a lot more easier to deal with. Basically, our summer is now completely changed, and yeah, I'm thankful I have a job where they're flexible, but I still need to be doing a lot of work, and I got to get creative on how I'm going to get that done. But that's okay. That's my problem, nobody else's. So, there you go. There's part of an update. And we're going to pause this until we come across one interesting spot on this road.
So, we stopped at where the Oregon Trail comes across the road out here at Williw Crrek. This right here is an important area of Williw Crrek, as it used to be kind of like an ancient campground, or not necessarily ancient, but historical campground. They use this as a place to stop to decide what direction they're going to travel. They would travel like to if they were traveling to the Dalles, if they wanted to go on the river, or if they wanted to take the Barlow Road that actually goes on the other side of Mount Hood, which was kind of a treacherous way to go. So this was a very important area. There was water in this area back then. They were able to forage for food in this area because of the water. And, you know, it's part of the Oregon Trail. So
The Oregon Trail itself went up that draw right there. And then we're going to turn around, and this is facing west. We're going to face to the east, and there might be more wind noise, and it went up, that came down that draw.
So there's just a little bit of history for you. Thought we'd stop and show you an interesting site. And Scott did take a picture of the sign itself, and you can read a little bit more about it. Okay, so we left the Willow Creek area, and sorry about the wind. I hope that you could hear what I was saying. We're coming up on the historic town of Cecil, and there's not really much of it left, but there's a couple of buildings. It looks like in the back area, when we passed it before, I noticed what looked like maybe a hotel or a general store. There's also a really old grain tower there.
Grain elevator.
Grain elevator, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. So, I don't know if we'll be able to see much of it from the road. But I thought it was an interesting old building that we saw down there.
Yep, and there's another building over here behind the tree, of course.
Yeah,
There you go.
I thought it was a real cool old building.
We'll actually drive down there.
Okay.
Because it's a public road. So we'll come down here and we will come down to the old Cecil store. Sorry for the sun in your face. It's in our face as well, so please bear with us.
Cecil store. That's definitely an old one. Do you see that rocking chair rocking on its own? It's a little creepy. It's not doing it anymore. But that chair was rocking when we first...
Yep, they're starting to rock again.
Oh, yep, there it is. And it stopped again.
Let's sit here and see if it starts to rock again. Is it going to rock? Is there something there making it rock?
Look at how it's leaned back, like somebody's sitting back in it.
There it goes.
Oh my gosh. Ah. Too cool.
Yep.
Do 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 do. Okay, everyone. I'm sure it's just the wind or something that's making that chair move, but that was just absolutely perfect. We're going to go ahead and close it out here. Take care and be good. See you next time.